Good evening, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this evening, British woman reportedly commits suicide inside a Negril police station. The police are currently investigating a British woman's suspected suicide inside a bathroom at the Negril police station in Westmoreland. Head of the Jamaica Constabulary Force Corporate Communications Network, Senior Superintendent Stephanie Lindsay, has confirmed the incident. However, she was unable to give details when contacted by the news. Preliminary reports from a source familiar with the incident are that the woman, who was vacationing at a hotel in Negril, was seen naked and behaving boisterously on the beach of another hotel in the area. The police were called and the woman was taken to the Negril police station ahead of being transported to hospital for an assessment. As the cops at the station awaited information about her medication, which was needed ahead of any effort to get her medical treatment, she is said to have repeatedly asked and was allowed to use the restroom. According to sources, the woman later went to the restroom on her own. Sounds coming from the restroom made the police aware that she was inside. When they attempted to check on the woman in the restroom, it was discovered that she had barricaded herself inside the restroom, reports said. The police broke down the door to gain access to the restroom, and the woman was found unresponsive inside. Couple murdered in Westmoreland. The police in Westmoreland are probing a case of double murder and arson in Content District, Williamsfield. It is reported that a fire was seen coming from the house of a couple said to be in their 50s around 5 o'clock this morning. Their charred remains were found during a cooling down exercise by firefighters. Several spent casings were also found at the scene. Roadblock mounted over police killing of Manchester teen. Placard bearing residents of Barrett Peace blocked a section of the Kendall Main Road in Manchester on Tuesday, 2 days after the fatal shooting of 14-year-old Michael Simpson by the police. The residents used the stones and the debris to mount roadblocks. Simpson's aunt Ingrid Brooks said the teen and his 20-year-old brother tried to elude the police in a Toyota Mark X as the older sibling doesn't have a driver's license.
They came down here and they saw the police and they turned and went back up the highway to go to Williamsfield, and the police intercepted them at the railway station in Williamsfield. They did not run them down to go up there. So I don't see how it was a shootout and a chase. And yes, they were trying to elude the police because the driver did not have a license. That is the only thing they're guilty of. The 14-year-old that was killed, he was killed with 3 plates of food in his lap and a foil with pork in it. They were taking up dinner for their dad. So I don't see how there was a shootout. How come there was a gun in the car and they just left the house, no gun in the car, and they say it was a shootout? That is not possible.
Justice! We want 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 justice!
Say he is for prosperity. Kendall, Barrack Peace, a theme territory. And if he not come, if he can't talk to me, if he make me hear, what am I going to do for the 14-year-old because of prosperity, the police them kill. If he not come, make sure Kendall I got turn PMP territory. Tell him say I'm worker and I'm supervisor. Tell him send the message to him. The Kendall, Manchester.
Kill me baby innocent. Kill me baby so innocent. 14-year-old, you know do nothing. And then just kill him like that. A justice like.
Father's Day, you kill the man picking it, and that's the gift you give in father. Police give the man in Father's Day killing. No man, it can't have to stop. It have to stop. And we need all of the police them from Kendall to move. Everyone to move. Everyone to move.
Jamaican woman stabbed to death in U.S., ex-husband reportedly taken into custody. A Jamaican woman, originally from Ballard's Valley, St. Elizabeth, was found dead on Father's Day in her Georgia apartment after she failed to show up for work. Investigators theorize that 42-year-old Dr. Samantha Banton Woolery had been stabbed to death the day prior. According to co-workers of the deceased, Woolery's failure to show up for work was cause for concern, leading them to contact the police. Police visited Woolery's apartment in Marietta, a city northwest of Atlanta, where she was found unresponsive with visible bruises. The police have reportedly taken her ex-husband, 49-year-old Mickey Anthony Woolery, into custody. Buchanan confident about the Vybz Kartel retrial hearing outcome. Defense attorney Isaac Buchanan says he is confident about the outcome of the Vybz Kartel retrial hearing, which concluded on Tuesday. While speaking with reporters at the end of day 6 of the hearing, Buchanan reiterated the stance of the defense team that there was a breach of the appellant's right to a fair trial, and the hearing is to determine whether the court can order a retrial in the circumstances. He said the defense is of the opinion that there should be no retrial, and they have submitted evidence in the form of documents why this should be the ruling of the court.
But certainly the defense is saying no retrial. The prosecution is saying there can be a retrial. There was a breach of the fair trial right, which was a central issue of this case, and whether or not the court can order a retrial in the circumstances. Certainly for the defense, we would have presented affidavit evidence, which was a plethora of documents. As you can see, it went over into day 6, and even at the end of day 6, there were so many documents that the court was inundated with information that they now have to go through. I just wish to make clear that because of this, it is one of the reasons why the court now has to go through the information and have a written judgment, because this is a high public interest matter, and so the explanations coming from the court will be of great value. Certainly, in terms of the progress of the case, the client is anxious. There's not much you can tell a man who wants to get out of jail as to why is it being delayed or anything like that. It is a continuing breach, and that, as I said, that's certainly where it is. And so I have no comforting words for my clients, save and to say that the court has now made it clear that they're mindful of Mr. Palmer's illness, they're mindful of the length, and that certainly they have given a time, as in the maximum time that they will be able to write the judgment and be able to hand it down. That my response is always God on time. This case is finished. I from the defense bar, fresh justice is something that a concept that we ought to be looking at in terms of trying to ensure that persons who are put before the court for the very first time, that their matters don't fall into the position that the appellants are in this particular case. So in terms of pushback, the judge did make it clear that there will be some pushback for other cases to ensure that in light of Mr. Palmer's illness, that they get the judgment out at the fastest possible time. And the blame is now at the hands of the prosecution and the defense, because we inundated them with paperwork, which was my defense is it was necessary to do so.
Are you confident in what the ruling may be?
I'm always confident. Is God on time. I only speak positive to the universe.
Thank you everyone for watching. See you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. for another news update.